Alright. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Call of the Abyss. This is our first official episode, and I, as usual, am playing a Scarlet Leon. Next up, Mike.
Oh, hey. I'm Mike. I am playing Mordecai.
Yes, I'm next. I'm Steve. Now be Domhnall, the fucking Bruja. He swears live.
I'm Bully.
Yeah.
I never swear. And I'll be playing Toledo, the Banu Hakim.
Fair warning, this is an 18 plus stream, so if you're not comfortable with blood, gore, sex, fucking... what else?
What are we doing in this game?
Cults.
I do not stand up for any of that.
I would recommend you, clicking out right now. So, kids, I don't want your parents going oh, where did you learn that word? Yeah. And...
I'm sure none of that will happen. So
of course, I'm sure. And Louis.
Yeah, and I'm Louis. I'm L, or Lou, as some people call me, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Or afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. Why don't we start off with a bit of an introduction to our city. Chicago has always been relatively peaceful and progressive in the recent years. Life for its citizens has been improving significantly ever since the start of the new millennium. Though crime rates still run a little rampart on the southern side of the city, the other districts seem to have gone significantly better. The economy is on the rise with a flood of new foreign denizens coming to stay, bringing forth booming businesses, colorful new trends, flavorful culture, and innovative technology. All due to the great leadership by the cunning and ambitious Miriam Brown. Only recently graduated a few years ago, she climbed the ranks within the government of the city proper, swiftly, and took charge virtuously, making waves for female rights, equality, as well as proposing the betterment of the city itself through her strong political connections. With the right foundation, support, and patronage, she was able to propel the Windy City in the right direction. She rallied the citizens to make the city as plastered on the best of the Midwest. Though the city progresses with high-rise buildings and skyscrapers with people busying themselves on that work grind, we all know too well that things aren't always what they seem. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Call of the Abyss, where we'll explore not only the setting of the world of darkness, but also the lives of the dark and twisted creatures that dwell and plot within it. Tonight, we begin with a bit of a recap that entailed the recent escapades of our cast members coming into Chicago. We started with Domhnall McGregor, a rabble-rousing iconoclast bruja who leads a group of leather-clad bikers that roam the streets on the southern side of Illinois. In the prelude, he got an interesting phone call from his contact, asking him to investigate the disappearance of an ally in the Windy City. Dom, being who he is, reluctantly followed the instructions to meet with the Anarch Baron. And after a bit of a tussle in the bar, he agreed to begin his investigation tomorrow evening. We then cut to Mordecai, a proud member of the Ministry, who's also a very prominent member of Chicago's kinky BDSM scene. Whilst in the middle of his adulterous shenanigans in his private party held in his mansion, he was approached by a close Nosferatu friend of his who warned him that there is trouble brewing within the city. People are starting to go missing, and kind are beginning to take notice. The recent influx of Kindred moving into the city might be a factor to consider in this endeavor. Just as they finished conversing, though, a more prevalent figure paid our dear ministry member a visit. It was none other than Annabelle Triabelle, the foxy Toreador Primogen, who promptly got down to business after a bit of a battle of presents and informed Mordecai that there will be an auction coming up within the next week. She also asked him to accompany her for tomorrow's Elysium. We then bounced the camera over to the Trinity Church located on the lower western side of Chicago, where Toledo and his loyal retainer, Sister Isidora, had just arrived and finished unpacking from a long trip. The old bat informed him to make acquaintances with a local minister as a form of courtesy, and being the cowboy gentleman that he is, did so splendidly. After a bit of a conversation with Minister Thomas, the diocese, he pointed him to a rather paranoid teen by the name of Colin Watts, who immediately ran away as Toledo approached him. After some investigation and a bit of stalking, we saw Colin with a mysterious, red-cloaked individual wearing what seemed to be a white mask, and it sort of resembled that of a clown or a jester. This suspicious individual vanished into the shadows as Toledo came into the picture, and he calmed the poor teenager down with a bit of a bloody effort. In the end, our cowboy priest learned that there is a supposed blood sex chapel on the western end of town. And finally, after a long journey from Russia, Scarlet Leanne, along with her coterie members, arrived at the Stuart Freeman Academy, where they met a variety of friendly and not-so-friendly faces. One of these individuals, who she'll come to adore soon, is Naomi Stewart, a driven venturer who founded the academy itself. We learned that the school, or the academy, rather, is not only a place for kind, but also for young kindred. Miss Stewart teaches these potential Camarilla members in her private library and holds lessons regarding traditions, kindred etiquette, and Camarilla principles. The night continued with Scarlet's first subject, the guidelines for the Masquerade, followed briefly by Dining Etiquette 101 and a snippet from the book called Things to Do and Not to Do at Elysium. So, with all that said and done and recapped, and everyone ready for the night, we'll begin this chronicle with your own beasts awakening you with a rouse check. Let's say them rouse checks, ladies and gents. Alright,
Well,
Toledo passes.
I'm already hungry.
I'm hungry as well, so.
Okay. Alright. Why don't we start off with Mr. Toledo? In the lower west end of town, at the Trinity Church, you awaken, your eyes snap open. But it's kind of different tonight. The beast is there, but it's not gripping at your throat at the moment. You're not hungrier than the previous night. Perhaps maybe due to the fact that you consumed a few blood bags while speaking to Colin, but we'll worry about that some other time. What does your morning routine or early evening routine look like?
Well, Toledo probably has Sister Isadora at the ready when he gets up and prepared to pass on any pertinent information he needs. usually just wakes up and probably has her weirdly staring at him at a bedside. Well, what do we got to do today, sister?
She gives you a warm smile as she sets down your clothing for the evening. You would notice that there's a sort of a suit and tie getup that you usually adorn in special occasions. You would notice that the seams as well as the way she ironed it is just how you instructed her the previous evening. And she sits down next to you on your comfy bed, or not so comfy bed. She smiles at you once again as she meets eyes, and she says, well, you do have that Elysium coming up tonight, as per the letter.
Right, that's important. So they tell me we're Camarilla now and all that. Around what time? Is that something I gotta get going to, or do I have a little time to play around, check the city out?
It is. She looks around for a nearby clock, and she eventually finds it hanging on the clear, yellowish surface of the wall. It's around 7:30 for you, Mr. Toledo. And his sister Isadora then turns to you and says, you have about 2.5 hours before Elysium begins. Would you like me to accompany you?
To Elysium? Actually, yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Always feel better you there by my side. Make sure no one eats you or anything. You can handle yourself. If we have time, though, I might do a little snooping around. That boy, Colin, I spoke to yesterday, he got me thinking. If we're here, we're here to help in the city and whatnot. We should be able to offer something. The only one thing I do, the business. So maybe if I come to Elysium, I could tell the other Banu Hakim that I found something fishy. Would be interesting. So I'm gonna sniff around at the west side for a little. See what pops up.
Very well.
If you want to take my fancy clothes, and I see what you did with the pants, that iron, that crease just in the front, beautiful. If you want to bring those, and I can meet you at Elysium, put them on, because I got to put on my sneaky clothes.
As you wish. Also, she says as she picks up the clothing, the boy is upstairs. I believe he came in about an hour or so ago. He seems to be looking for you.
Oh, dang. Pretty sure I scared him the hell away. All right, that's good. I'm pretty good at this mentor stuff, then. Yeah, let's go see what the boy's up to. Get up and head towards him.
You step out of your room, perhaps passing his sister Isadora. You head on upstairs to the spiral stone staircase that leads into the church proper itself. As you enter the room without a roll, you would notice that Minister Thomas is perhaps giving a lecture or some prayer or leading some sort of, talk with some youth on the side of the semi-large church. But you would see Colin sitting perhaps on the very back row of a pew, sitting rather patiently. Maybe his patience is running low. You can't tell unless you approach him.
I'll make my way there, do a quick tip of the hat to Minister. Acknowledgement, head towards Colin.
The minister, of course, bows at you the moment he lays eyes on you. You begin to make your way through the pews and whatnot to reach Colin, who promptly gets a little bit of a shaken feeling to him the moment he lands eyes upon you. Oh.
Hey, kid. What's shaking?
Good evening, Father Toledo.
Yeah, good. You're smart. They teach you that in school?
Yeah, I was a little late last night, and Miss Stewart kind of chewed me out in front of the whole class, but that's fine. I just came here. I was waiting. I woke up a little early today. I wanted to see you. I wanted to thank you.
Yeah, here I am. Night. What's up? Colin, you're welcome. What did I do again exactly that you're thanking me for?
You were just there.
You know what? I was there. I was good at being there. You're right. You're welcome. You're welcome, son. So what's troubling you this evening?
Go ahead and roll your Vincent insight as you speak to him. You ask him what's wrong, and he gives you a very, very weak smile. He looks away to the side, his eyes shifting a little bit. Nothing. I'm fine. I just wanted to thank you, Father. I really appreciate you just being there, like other people.
Yeah, what you told me last night, these other people, it's got me a little worried. Especially now that I meant to ask you, you are what you are now. How long have you been like that? How long since the change?
He looks around sheepishly, trying to make sure that nobody is nearby to hear. A few months.
Oh, so it didn't happen at that place you're talking about, that den of sins?
No, no, please, no. Oh God, no, that's terrible. No.
Yeah, the place got you spooked. That's what worries me.
Hey, please don't go there. Please, it's dangerous. It's creepy, and there's a lot of naked people.
Gotta say, Colin, you don't make the best case for me not going there so far.
I was speaking because you're a man of the Lord, right? You're not supposed to see those things.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can see it. I ain't gonna do anything about it. I gotta see that bad stuff so people like you don't have to. I gotta take care of it. So, whatever is scaring you there, you ain't gonna have to worry about much longer. You see, Colin, you're like a little lamb. When a little lamb gets lost, a little lamb, it cries out. When a little lamb's lost and crying, two things happen. Either its mama hears and it comes and rescues it, or a wolf hears and it comes and what happens after that? You've been crying, Colin. I can tell you're the crying type. It sounds like some wolf's been here in weeks. You ain't gotta worry anymore. I'm your mama's sheep now. I'm here to help.
That's weird. But okay. I guess if that's how you put it. He nods his head. Well, I just came by to say thank you. I gotta get going. I do have class at 8:30.
Yeah. No, go to class. If you get chewed out again, what you want to do is you want to pick out the biggest, most popular looking person in that classroom. You make an example. Establish dominance early on.
Oh.
Show up, point them out, and again, I know you're a little lamb. Colin, you're going to be a wolf there. Walk in, you find them. Don't even worry about yesterday. Because after tonight, everyone's going to be talking about, man, you see Colin punk that person out? That's what's going to be on their minds. They'll forget that you got yelled at yesterday. A little free advice.
He hunches over, perhaps shivering in fear, as he kind of eyes you up and down. Yeah, about that, there's like these 3 new students, and they look really scary. Like, one of them is like really tall, he's got like big claws, and he's skinny, and the face, oh God, I don't know if that's like a really bad form of eczema or something, but he's just deformed. And then there's these 2 pretty girls, though. One of them has red hair, and, she has like this pet snake. She's cute. But there's this other girl, she has like this cute Russian accent, and she's like, I don't know, she's kind of a bitch, but at the same time, she's kind of cute.
Alright. Wait, is this, you said it's a deformed, you said claw, is this like a vampire school? I mean,
don't tell anyone.
Whatever. We were just talking, is this a kid walking around with claws? I thought you were going to like night classes or something. Tell me.
Well, it is night classes. It's the Stuart Freeman Academy. It's where youngsters are groomed to become future leaders and whatnot. Members of the tower.
All right, that's a new strategy then. You picking out the biggest person fighting you. Tell you what you do. The hot one with the snake, she sounds pretty cool. You be friends with her. Bitchy one's the one you gotta make it. She's coming in all hot shit, thinking she's the new kid in town. Don't let that fly.
I was told she was using her disciplines in class.
Yep, see, she's a fuck up. You don't associate with her. You walk in, you let people know that you put her in place. And then maybe her friend will see, oh man, me and my snake could hang out with this loser. Or this Callan kid seems to know what's what. I'm gonna get a ride with him. My advice to you, can't go wrong.
You see his eyes light up in this moment as a reinvigorated confidence returns to him. Okay, yeah. Make sure to make fun of the bitchy one. Yeah, and make friends with the one with the snake.
I mean, don't necessarily make fun of, but maybe shit. People like that are a dime a dozen. They'll take the bait easy. You give her something to go after, and you strike back. You don't want to be the one starting it, but it's easy to get her to start it, and then you finish it.
Okay.
Me.
I'll egg her on in class. Yeah. I think we have a brief meeting today about Elysium. So,
Okay, yeah. And if she has to use her disciplines day one, you got nothing to worry about.
Okay, yeah. He gives you an actual genuine smile now, as he seems excited for class to bully whoever this Russian chick is. And he promptly stands up, picks up
report back tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. I'll see you tonight, if you're attending.
Oh, you're gonna be at Elysium?
Yeah, Miss Stewart wants us to attend and, study and take notes of...
They got a field trip at Elysium? Oh my God, this is gonna be good. Alright, yeah.
It's required.
Show up. No, it's fine. You show up, I got your back. But don't pretend like you don't know. It'd be cooler if this really cool, mysterious, badass guy just instantly takes a liking to you. Man, this guys, they see me, obviously. They see you, and they'll be like, if these two are connected, something good's going on. So show up. We don't know each other. I'll help you.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that. Thanks, Bartoldo. Thank you. And then he kind of bows to you and jets out of the chapel itself.
Pretty damn good at this. I'm satisfied. I'll head back. Probably tell Sister Isadora. I canceled my snooping plans. I already did enough for the day. I did some good things. We gotta get ready for Elysium.
She nods as she puts down as you enter the room, she puts down the clothing once again on your bed. She's neatly patting it just to make sure that it's not wrinkled or there's no dirt or any grime on it. Do brush your teeth once again and shower for once.
I mean, fine. I'm not gonna argue with you tonight. We don't have to do that. Mortal, godlike beings. You're gonna waste some time. I'm not having this argument again.
She rolls her eyes, and then she continues on getting everything ready. She seems to prepare her own clothing as well. She's going to wear an all-black, perhaps nun outfit for the evening, perhaps to match yours. Not your nun outfit, but your priest-like outfit.
I'll do it. All right.
Okay. We'll pause the scene there for Toledo as we bounce the camera over to our Setite, our ministry member. You awaken, Mordecai, your eyes snap open, and just like Toledo, your beast doesn't exude this hunger once again, but it lets you know it's there as it awakens you, but it doesn't grip at your throat. What does your morning ritual look like? You're muted. Just let you know.
A morning ritual. Attend to a circuit of the party rooms, which are probably in constant use in one way or another by someone or other. Possibly top up a little bit of feeding just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I mean, rest for the day. Sure. Step outside, look at the moon, smile.
Okay. Yeah, as you step out, you would see, perhaps in your bedroom balcony, you would see that there is a full moon out tonight. It's beautiful. It's clear. It's refreshing. The spring breeze of tonight, it makes you feel sort of alive again. And as you perhaps turn around and walk through the halls of your lavish mansion, you would hear, of course, the people that occupy this residency. Not that they're actual residents, but people who are basically your herd, people, the kinky ones. You would hear the moaning, the loud thwacks of perhaps the debauchery happening in this particular place. And there are a few attendees here and there who greet you, give you polite nods and whatnot. And you open the door to perhaps take a sneak peek of what's going on. You would see a few individuals in compromising positions, just as usual. This is a nightly routine for you. It's normal. You know, it doesn't surprise you anymore. It doesn't faze you, seeing all these naked men and women, what have yous, in all sorts of positions.
I stand in the hallway, close my eyes, and just absorb the sound.
Close your eyes, you outstretch your hands and arms, and just feel like this. This is the life. This is very, well, it's not so different from your days back in Hollywood, as, well, you were always surrounded by these sorts of people, high society degens, as you like to call them. You love it. You love this feeling. You won't trade it for anything else. Except for the fact that as you close your eyes and stand there in silent, this pure bliss, you remember you have to accompany Miss Triabelle tonight. Toreador permission. Perhaps it sours your face a little bit, but you remember of how attractive she is and the status she holds within the city.
I suppose I'll have to get ready.
And how does this look like? What are you doing to prepare for Elysium? Any rituals, any sort of clothing in particular?
My usual fare. It does well to hold a routine to be predictable in terms of wardrobe. So, expensive silk, expensive three-piece suits, expensive shoes, everything shined, everything pressed, everything crisp. Arrange a driver at some point. One of the servants of the mansion, I'm sure. I've been meaning to get myself a major domo. Should do that. Maybe. If I get a servant, I'll call them over. Remind me. I need a major domo.
You see this female individual. She's wearing a half-masquerade mask. She is barely wearing anything. She carries a platter, a silver platter, and what seems to be on top of it is what seems to be a few glasses of wine. She bows to you as she presents the silver platter to you.
Remind me, I need to find myself a major domo.
Yes. Master.
Give her a slap on the bottom and send her off.
She kind of jolts up a little bit as you hear that smack on her bottom, but she simply nods at you, gives you a wink, and smiles and turns on her heels and proceeds somewhere else to perhaps survey the area and serve drinks. It is here that you get a phone call. Your phone vibrates within your jacket pocket or your coat pocket. I assume you pick it up.
Yes.
You hear a bit of static on the other end, much to be broken up by a rather vexatious voice. Mordecai, dear, we have a date tonight. It's Annabelle. Annabelle.
I was just thinking about you.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
I had not forgotten our date, my dear. Am I picking you up, or will I meet you there?
Well, I was already on my way out, so perhaps you can meet me there. I do have some preparations to make. A few of the art supplies and paintings have come in. Also, I need you to see my sculpture to see just how fitting it will be for the meeting place. So please do come in a little early.
I'll be there with bells on.
Perfect. See that? And she clicks. What does Mordecai do next?
You know, I'm not sure. He's not sure. All of this debauchery is a bit stale, honestly. He basks in it because it's what he's always known. He's a bit bored. So he's intrigued by this Elysium. He's intrigued by the festivity of the events of the city. The Kindred thinking to themselves that they're so important that they need to have some kind of art gallery thing. So, he will finishes getting together routine, bask in a bit more adulation, bask in a bit more moonlight, and then be on his way a little earlier.
Perfect. Then we see a montage of Mordecai simply walking around, taking a look at all these specimens.
Training montage.
And getting ready, showering and whatnot, fixing his hair, putting on his three-piece suit and whatnot, and eventually making his way to the meeting place, the address that was given to you. And we'll pause the scene there for Mordecai as we bounce the camera over to our brew hall. Alright. Domhnall McGregor, you awaken with that sour taste in your mouth, the beast kind of writhing within you, clawing at your insides, letting you know that it is there, it wants nourishment. But you're not too far gone yet, you're only at a specific 2 dots of hunger, I believe, so it's not too far in. But your eyes snap open. It's then that I ask you, what does your morning ritual look like?
Probably roll out of bed, push the biker member that I had in the bed with me out of the bed onto a bunch of half-used whiskey bottles. Just throw the leather jacket on and it's time to go eat food.
You push this female individual off. She's wearing nothing at the moment. As you kind of push her off the bed, she rolls off quite smoothly. You have enough potence to do this without any effort, and she kind of just falls on the bed with a loud thump on the wooden floor of your pavement. And you kind of just get up and put your clothes back on. And you said you were gonna go and feed. How are you gonna go about this, Mr. McGregor?
There's a couple biker bars in this particular area that, we just... Occasionally, bikers just bounce back and forth between all of them throughout the course of the night, so I'm just going to take an eye out, see which one happens to have the bar fight going on at the moment, then I'm just going to go over there and get a little rowdy.
Okay, let's start the night off with another bar fight. Okay, so as you go to the outpost, let's pick this one because it's the most recent one you've conquered. As last night you pretty much threw out whatever gang had, kind of owned this place, claimed this place to themselves. And you see, without any effort, there is definitely a bar fight going on. Some of your members are there, and some rowdy individuals. You walk into the bar. It is packed at the moment. It's Saturday night. And there is definitely a bit of a tussle going on, people shoving back and forth, loud noises coming from within, and of course, the rock and roll music that you so adore. You walk in, and I ask you, what do you do next?
I'm going to check and see if, there's some of the smaller, kind of more picked on biker members that I've got on my side. See if they're having trouble fighting whoever it is that they're fighting, then I'm going to go help them out. Because I know the bigger guys can take care of themselves.
Sure. Yeah. You would see Bobby, the individual from the previous night, being shoved against the wall. His leather jacket is torn off. Some of his clothing is ripped. Shards of bottle is kind of stuck on his forehead. It seems like someone knocked him over the head with a beer bottle. But you see the individual just kind of shoving him against the wall, throwing profanities at him. Rear back as he's about to punch this dude right in the face. What do you do?
I'm gonna loop my arm in his and catch his before it punches forward. I'm just gonna bite him.
Okay, let's see that strength and brawl first.
Strength and brawl.
And I believe you have a specialty in grappling, yeah? Or
I do indeed.
Okay. Cool.
Boxing, grappling, whatever. So strength and brawl?
Strength and brawl. This individual is unprepared because he has focused his attention on Bobby, who is now squealing, get the fuck off me! Okay, with 4 successes, you loop your arm around this individual, perhaps
Damn it, Bobby.
too strong. And you hear a bit of a snap in the shoulder as you pull him back.
That's unfortunate.
Boss! And what do? You just kind of bite down on this guy?
Oh yeah, I'm going to bite his neck because I've got his arm trapped, and I'll just pull the head sideways and muddle on.
This isn't going to be a difficult performance to do because, well, everyone is kind of engaged in combat themselves or drunk or singing along to whatever Ramon's song is playing. But you easily pierce this individual's neck with your fangs. It's sweaty. It smells like piss and alcohol combined. But you don't mind.
My kind of joint.
Yeah, you don't mind. As the first droplets of blood enter your mouth, you taste that vitae. It is sweet. It is full of energy. It's angry at the same time. And it's exactly the resonance that you prefer. Now, you can slake. Well, how much hunger do you slake?
I'll just take the one. No point in pissing where I eat.
Perfect. Okay. You may slake 1 dot of hunger, and you may take the resonance choleric. The individual, the moment that you've snapped his shoulder, and you bite down on him, you feel that his body goes a little limp as the kiss takes hold, and he simply stands there idly. He relaxes. Bobby, on the other hand, boss, whoa, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming. I thought, you were busy. So
got hungry.
Started off. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do that thing. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool with me. Yeah, the other boys, and he kind of looks over your shoulder, and you see, if you turn around, you'd see that there are definitely more chairs and tables broken. Chairs that were just replaced this morning. But yeah, there is a full-on bar fight going on right now as you hear more shouts and screaming in the back. The females and the other individuals are stepping out of the bar now, and more of the burly types have been left here in the bar. What is your plan?
Kick the shit out of them.
All right. We'll go all through your previous successes. With 4 successes and a bit of your potence, this is easy money. You beat these people up. We see a montage of Dom just simply sucker punching a few individuals, throwing them around, breaking more the furniture here, and perhaps redecorating the place with his taste. But eventually, the bar fight ends as you kick all these individuals out. Bobby is bloody and bruised once again. His clothes are torn to shit. The other bikers are also kind of, a little injured, but they all look to you, of course, in admiration.
I reach in my jacket again, pull out another wad of money, and leave it on the bar.
Okay. All right, boss, you gonna be busy tonight again?
Yeah, I got some shit to do.
Alright, cool.
If any of those jackasses come out, don't wait until the bar fills up this time. Just beat the shit out of them and kick them out.
Okay, cool. Alright. What happens if Rachel comes by again? What do you want us to do? Do you want to push her around or kick her out? What do you want us to do with her?
And refresh my memory out of character that Rachel is the Baron?
No, Rachel is your stalker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely kick her out.
Okay. You want us to do it like last time? Kind of tell her to go somewhere else, perhaps in Indiana, or do you want to just push her out, literally kick her out?
Tell her the last time you saw me, I was headed for LA.
LA, damn. Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. We'll do that.
I know a bunch of jackasses down there. Let them deal with her.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, boss, you take care. All right, we'll clean up the place here for you.
All right. Just don't get in too much trouble while I'm gone. All right.
Oh. Yeah, he smiles at you with a toothy grin. You would notice that he's missing a few teeth from the bar fight. Blood is kind of pouring out of his mouth at this point as he says, "We'll take care of it. Yeah. Biker gang."
You're a good guy, Bobby. That's why I keep you around. Then I'm just going to go out from there and hop on my bike and head towards the Elysium.
Perfect. And you do. Easy. We'll pause the scene there for Dom as we bounce the camera over to our toilet. Scarlet, you awaken with a bit of hunger clawing at you. The beast is riled up. It wants blood. And it whispers to you, "Let me drink!" As your eyes snap open. In your dorm room, rather dull and not to your taste, of course. But what does your morning ritual look like?
Of course, I'm already preparing my clothing for the Elysium. Then, after preparing, I check if Frankie or Brian is ready.
As you step out of your dorm room, mind you, it's not very big, as mentioned. The bed is literally next to the door itself and rather adjacent to it. As you step out of your room,
Really
you
need
would
to
hear...
decorate soon.
Perhaps those thoughts cross your mind as you turn the metal knob of this wooden door. As you open it, you would notice that there is a bit of goings on already down the hallway of this right wing. Some music is being played in the background, perhaps from another person's room. You could only assume it's probably Chester.
Troublemaker.
So as you step out, you would notice Brian kind of dressed up already. He's wearing what seems to be a rather too large a button-up shirt. His tie is crooked. He doesn't seem to know how to put it on. As you see that the other end of the tie is hanging way, way below the front of it. You would notice to the right, which is Frankie's room, the door kind of swing open. You would see Frankie a little messy. Her hair is all over the place. The snake is curling around her shoulders at this point. She doesn't seem to be ready for tonight. More likely, she doesn't know what's going on tonight.
I'm fixing Brian's tie. And then...
you don't need to be so rough, Scarlet.
You don't know how to tie your own. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I've been living on the streets for a long time. What do you expect? This is the first, formal event I'm going to.
Frankie, get a comb onto your hair and fix it up. We cannot show up into Elysium looking like this.
I'm sorry, what's going on tonight? She says to you, a little confused.
Elysium. I'm not really sure myself, but it's like a meeting of sorts with the other Kindred.
Ladies, come on, we have a brief lesson on Elysium tonight at 8:30. She kind of points to the watch on his left hand. You've never seen him wear a watch, so this is kind of a surprise to you. Seems like Brian was paying attention to last night's lessons, unlike the both of you.
Well, looks like we got an expert here.
He gives you a toothy grin as his fangs kind of protrude out of his, leathery face. Come on, you guys better finish up getting ready. We have class, and then you have to head over to, what is it, the Diamond Square? Something?
I do not know where that is. You will have to lead the way, Brian.
Okay, well, we have class, in a few minutes.
Oh, let's go.
Get dressed up and get ready. Frankie kind of gets in a bit of a panicked stage as she rushes to her room and asks for your help getting ready, choosing what outfit to wear. And I assume you do this. You have your own little montage getting ready with Frankie, helping her dress up and whatnot. You are Toreador, of course. You have a great sense of style. And she, being a gangrel herself, isn't exactly tailored for occasions like Elysium. But eventually, the both of you follow Brian out into the private library where Miss Stewart holds her lessons. You would notice as you enter that everyone is already here, and you and Frankie are late. Miss Stewart, she seems to be wearing a black-fitting gown. Her hair is tied into a braid to the side. She has a bit of makeup going on. Not that she needs it, but it definitely makes her look more appealing, more in her younger years. She gives you a warm smile as she says, "You two look better than the previous night."
Thank you.
Please have a seat. We have much to discuss. As you make your way in, up front, you would immediately notice none other than Chester, who seems to be wearing a two-piece suit, with a red tie hanging over his neck, or below his neck, as he kind of eyes you up and down, and he gives you a wink. What's up, little mama? How you doing?
I ignore him and just turn towards Frankie.
He then eyes Frankie. Ooh, damn, girl. You like snakes? I like snakes too, he says with a bit of a swagger to his movement. Frankie follows your lead as she kind of ignores him. What's up, ugly? He says to Brian, who kind of steps in after you. Brian just gives him a bit of a snarl, but he too ignores Chester. The other students here, who you've met, they don't seem to pay much attention to you. All right. Everyone, please settle down. Tonight is a big night, especially for some of you. And she looks at you, Scarlet, as well as your coterie members. We all know that tonight is Elysium, and if any of you have been paying attention, you would know that it is very important for us, Kindred, to come to you in this safe space. Would anyone like to give a brief description of what exactly happens in Elysium? She says as she looks around. No? She starts walking in front of students one by one, eyeing them. Of course, everyone is avoiding her eye contact because they don't want to be, be known as the smartass of the class. Mr. Thompson? No? Mr. Brown? Miss Leanne, you seem to be averting my gaze quite indiscreetly. What is going on here? Are you not paying attention once again?
No, I am.
Would you like to give us a brief description of Elysium, or would you rather doodle in your notebook?
No,
Go ahead
I
and
will.
roll your intelligence and academics, please. Scarlet.
Oh, God.
That is a bestial failure. Zeros and the bestial failure. Okay, Scarlet, in this moment, you feel like you're being attacked, you're being picked on by Miss Stewart, and you feel a little aggressive. You want to maintain control. You feel like you want to dominate the atmosphere here. You want to be on top of things. And this compulsion arises from within. No answer. A pity. I thought you were smarter than you look. Anyone else would like to give it a try? Someone raises their hands, of course. And you would notice this individual. He seems to be wearing a brown hoodie. He has short brown hair. He's got a very depressed look on his face, but he raises his hand. You know this individual to be the thin bloke by the name of Colin. And he gives a brief description of Elysium. He then says, after he describes the goings-on in there, yes, and unlike some other people, we have to be proud and, well, we have to raise our chin up and show to the others that we are knowledgeable. And he kind of turns to you, Scarlet, and we know what to do, and we are not just some fledglings or neonates that you can be picked on. He turns to Miss Stewart once again, who in turn has a very proud look on her face. She smiles at Colin, and she gives him a pat on the shoulder. Well done, Mr. Watts. Well done. It seems like one of you was paying attention and taking notes. She turns to you once again, Scarlet. But yes, tonight, Elysium will take place at Diamond Square Hall, located in the downtown district, just beside a few of the hotels and skyscrapers, and it's in the center of this square. It is vast, and it is, well, it's where meetings take hold, and this is a very special occasion, just as mentioned, as 3 of you will need to introduce yourselves to the whole Camarilla. It is, of course, courtesy to present yourself to the prince, but I've been told that the prince will ask new Kindred of the town to publicly introduce themselves, so please bear that in mind, Miss Leanne, Miss Willows, and Mr. Thompson.
Of course.
And the night continues with her. A brief lesson of things to do in Elysium, just like the previous night. You will learn. Well, actually, you don't learn anything because of your 0 successes. So once again, you don't pay attention. You just think of how to perhaps outwit Miss Stewart in the future in this next hour. But eventually, the imaginary bell rings in the school, and you all are dismissed for tonight's goings on at around 9:30. As you get up, Scarlet, and take your stuff with you, Brian and Frankie kind of head out on their own. But you would notice that Araceli, the dark-haired, ebony-haired individual that you sit next to, seemed to just be staring at you once again, blankly. She doesn't say a word, though, unless you say anything to her.
Hello? What's your name?
She gives you a sheepish look. She pouts her plump lips as she says, Celia. My name is Araceli Rivera, but everyone calls me Celia. You're Scarlet, right?
Yes. I'm Scarlet. Do you want to head out together, or...?
She ponders for a moment as she looks at your shoulders and the way you're dressed, and you would see quite a stark contrast between you and her. She doesn't seem to be ready for Elysium either. She is wearing what seems to be a overly large blouse and some pants, some jeans and whatnot, and sneakers. Sure. Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Do you need help?
Hey, yo, Scarlet, don't be talking to that weirdo chick. You hear Chester coming, from behind you. Yeah, she's don't hang around. She's weird, you know what I'm saying? He kind of whispers to you.
Please do not get near me.
Hey, I'm just saying. She one with the shadows, you know what I'm saying? She weird.
Don't listen to him.
Come on. Kathleen and I are heading on to Elysium. Come with us. You ditch your friends. We're good.
No, thank you. I do not like, Bruja. I look him up and down.
Bruja? Shit, girl, you got me mistaken. I'm a dingwalk.
Ugh. Even worse. I just link my arms with Celia and then walk away, like telling her to ignore him.
Hey, you better pick your friends right. Oh, he's seemingly flustered. He kind of just shakes it off as he kind of turns to Kathleen and simply tells her, "Come on, Kath, let's bounce. We don't need her anyway." And as you step on the door, you would notice Frankie and Brian simply conversing in the hall. Brian seems to have activated his Mask of 1,000 Faces, as he seems to be different now. He looks a little more normal. His leathery skin, his protruding kind of skeletal fingers have diminished, and he seems to be just another nondescript-looking individual in this school. Let's take. Is she coming with us?
Yes.
He says as he gestures.
This is Celia. She is now coming with us, and that stupid fucking, what's his name? Chester. He's really annoying.
Oh, the fuckboy. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
don't hang around that dude. He's a creep if you ask me.
He's a creep. Ugh.
Come on, I think we're gonna be late. Frankie says, as you all see Miss Stewart kind of leading you all out in this little field trip. You would notice as you step out in the courtyard, and which is next to the parking lot, you would see a few of the students kind of looking at the coterie, as well as Miss Stewart. They give her some curt nods and polite bows and whatnot as she heads out. You would notice that a few vehicles have been prepared for you, a few black sedans, and they all adorn, their own drivers and whatnot, and they're all ready to get to Elysium. I assume you hop in one of these along with your coterie members and Celia, and you all head out. Is there any important conversation you want to be had between the four of you in this vehicle as you head your way there?
No, I'm just gonna ask Celia what her clan is.
She looks down to the ground and looks up to the sky, the skyline of the city as you all kind of make your way there. I'm not sure. I wasn't told. I was just found like 3 weeks ago in the university, and I don't know. They told me I'm a caitiff or something. I just know that they make fun of me because of the way the shadows dance around me.
Ignore them. But shadows, yeah, I've seen things like that in Russia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we fought with some of them.
Fought? Shadows? Like shadow boxing?
Kind of. We've had a really, really fun time in Russia as I turn towards like Brian and Frankie.
They both snort at that, kind of not wanting to give any information out. They kind of hold in their laughter.
Doesn't matter what clan you are. What matters is the people you surround yourself with.
She looks awkwardly at Frankie and Brian, but she gives you a weak smile. And eventually, the car arrives at the Diamond Square Hall. The first to get there, of course, would be Toledo. As you arrive, perhaps, how did you get there, by the way? Did you take a car, a motorcycle, a taxi?
Whichever way sister decided to be best, I assume probably hired a car. I don't have my own vehicle.
Yeah, easily. You could have easily gone to Elysium with a vehicle you either, hired or stole. But eventually you would arrive there. Let's just say you took a cab. And you arrived at Elysium. Or a rideshare, whatever was popular back in 2017. But you eventually get to Elysium. You would see, as you step out of the taxi with Sister Isidora, there's a large park sort of area. Right up front through the stone tiled steps, that is a long stretch that leads to this semi-glass dome-shaped building. It's square, exactly as the description says. It's very large, but at the top there is a dome with a bit of glass and a skylight at the center that seems to bring in a little bit of light from outside to within. You would notice that around this square property, it is surrounded by tall skyscrapers, some hotels here and there. Immediately to the right, you would see a large hotel building. On the top of the hotel, by perhaps the 60th floor, it would say Diamond Yama. And there, behind these hotel buildings and skyscrapers are the more of the other clubs and whatever bars and what have you. As you walk around, you would notice, or you would hear the semi-low traffic noise coming from to and fro. This is a more busier area of the city, but as you walk in further and further through the yard and whatnot, the noise kind of dims and it kind of fades out. As you enter this marble stone-stepped hallway through the double doors, you would notice that there is a lot going on here. It is there's white marble walls and clear flooring. There are artworks lined up against each of the corners of this place. There's some bit of music playing. And there's the artworks, you would notice. It's not too distracting, but there is enough for eyes to draw intrigue. Go ahead and roll your wits and awareness as you roll in this place. You can also roll for Sister Isidora if you wish. Okay, 2 successes. Not a very high difficulty as everything is a bit obvious. But you would, okay, well, 2 for the both of you. Okay. Yeah, there are at least a dozen or a few dozen cozy chairs filled in with people. Some tables and drinks lined up next to these cozy chairs and whatnot. The hall itself is dimly lit. It is exuding an ambiance like that of a dark lounge. The lack of lighting is offset by the clear glass skylight that hangs above on the ceiling, right above a stone angel wielding a sword pointed upwards. Right below it, the stone statue is at least 5 feet tall and sits above a 3-tier water fountain that produces a serene stream that sets the tone for Elysium itself, along with the classical music. Okay. You step in, and Sister Isidora turns to you and says, "It's been a while since we've been part of such an event."
Yes, it has. Usually we're here on business, looking like to cause trouble, but I guess we're supposed to behave ourselves this time. Seems like they even prepared a little something just for me, and I'll sort of gesture towards the angel with the sword. I'll sort of strike a similar pose. Any resemblance?
You would notice that the angel has a wingspan that's very large. It's perhaps bigger than the actual statue itself. And it's, it has a sword that's kind of pointed upwards, but it's looking down on the water. Very, very serene. And you strike that similar pose, but a few seconds into your striking your pose, Sister Isidora pretty much just grabs your hand and your arm and, kind of brings it down gently as she says, "Please don't make a fool of us here. It's our first night."
Me? Make a fool of us? Sister, you got me mistaken. Oh, yeah, alright, I'll behave. Let's find the other, there's other Banu Hakim, right? You got the letter. I'll be a little more comfortable among like-minded fellows. Your plans are a little nervous. You find them. I'm gonna grab a drink.
She turns around and she kind of looks for the bar. You both scan the room, and there is a bar to the left side of this seemingly serving mortal drinks. And you just head on that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pause the scene here for you as you perhaps get comfortable in Elysium as we bring the others in. Next to step in, of course, will be Mordecai. As you arrive, you would see the same as described earlier. White marble floors, the walls include the ceiling with the glass dome-shaped sort of situation going on, structure. There's artworks and whatnot, but you're here on a mission. You were invited by the Toreador Primogen, and if you don't mind, go ahead and roll your wits and awareness, please. Yep, you walk in and you would see that there are, these cozy chairs and whatnot. Everyone is sitting on them. You're not from. Actually, you are familiar with some of their faces as you've been in the city for a while. You would notice that the clans are lined up in their particular spots. You would see that the Banahahim are here. Toreador are surrounding Annabelle as we speak, who is sitting or standing in front of the statue, the angel statue with a fountain. Gangrel, Bruja, and whatnot are also within range of the statue. But and every other clan is also here, spread out thinly. You walk in.
Do I see any other ministry?
Of course, you would see your Primogen, of course, in the shadows on the right side of the room, opposite of the angel statue itself. Very fitting, actually. And he kind of, you would see this individual. You know exactly where to look, as you're familiar with Marcel. Let me bring it up here, up on the screen. He seems to be of African-American descent, though he's not. He's actually of French descent. You would know this because of the years you've spent with him. You have a kind of mutual acquaintanceship with him that most ministry members have, and you don't mind conversing with him. He doesn't mind you. You both have your own businesses going on. He is of the art world as well as some shady industries, but you don't mind that. You are shady yourself. You're in the BDSM scene, and you kind of dabbled in that art, but you enjoy each other's company. Next to him, of course, is the other ministry members who are very comfortably seated. You see Alec Romas de Leon. He seems to, rumor has it that he's blind, and he always adorns some sort of shades or what have you, glasses. He wears a turtleneck that is yellow, and he wears a purple coat over it. Very stylish for a ministry member, and he kind of draws a lot of attention. You would he owns a gallery of himself, perhaps somewhere in the downtown district. Next to him, of course, is Thea, a young ministry member who recently joined the Camarilla as well, under Marcel's rule. She adorns short brown hair. She wears a strapless, shoulderless sort of blouse or dress, I forgot what it's called, and she has a lot of piercings that have a snake-like design on them. She's very, very beautiful. And they both kind of sit in the corner, kind of lounging and speaking amongst themselves. They notice you and they gesture for you to come that direction. My question to you is, do you greet Annabelle first, or do you greet your ministry pals first?
Catch the eye. They see me. I will see them. I hold up a finger. And then I greet Annabelle.
Okay, so you choose Annabelle first. Perfect. As you walk up to her, she turns around. You see the sycophants around her. Some other Toreador, which I'll show up on the screen right now. You would know these individuals, of course, as you've been in Elysium before. You would see Brett Stryker greet you first, before anything. Brett Stryker, you would know him to be the harpy of the court. He greets you. He has long brown hair, very lush and very thick. He carries that smirk of a smile with a bit of glitter on his face. He has bright green eyes. He wears some sort of polka dot outfit and a bright red coat. He's very flamboyant in the way he approaches you as he says, "Oh, Miss Mordecai." He gestures for you to, kind of bow.
So glad to see you.
Mr. Stryker, I wouldn't miss it for the world. You're looking
better
beautiful
to-
this evening.
Thank you, he says, as he kind of throws over that shy shoulder blade of his. You see more and more glitter. The more you converse it, the more you notice that there is more glitter all over his body. Like it's his shibboleth. He says to you, "It would be better if we were both not so dressed up. Don't you agree?"
I've told you again, you're welcome to come by anytime. En casa es su casa, my friend.
He smiles at you. You are more than welcome to sit at the VIP section of the club. And you know
We'll
he's
pay
talking
you.
about Backtrack, his strip club.
I'll pick you up on that at some point. But I have
Yes,
urgent
you are.
business with Angel.
He moves out of the way as he smiles and gestures for you to see Annabelle herself. You see that she is wearing, she has that silver hair parted to the side very neatly. Her very beautiful features prominent at the moment. There's a bit of makeup, dark eyeliner and whatnot that accentuates her bright crystal blue eyes. She adorns a silver dress that hugs her outfit, or her form. She smiles at you wickedly. There he is.
I was just wondering who had brought a statue of Venus. Turns out it was only you.
It's actually Michelangelo. Oh, excuse me, Michael, not Michelangelo. Oh, are you talking about me? She winks at you. Come. And she comes. She gestures for you to come and perhaps do a bit of a kiss on the cheek. Beso to the side. And she, of course, runs her fingers down your shoulder, down to your back. Perhaps a little too close to your buttocks. You look rather fancy tonight. Maybe we'll have a time of our own afterwards, yes?
The night is young.
Indeed, she says to you. She eyes you up and down once again. She bites her lips. And we'll pause the scene here for Mordecai as we bring in Abuha. You step in just as Mordecai kind of, speaks to Annabelle. And you are unfamiliar with this place. Maybe you've been to Chicago, but you've never attended Elysium, Dom. You are. I'm curious. What do you feel right now as you notice a lot of these unfamiliar faces around the room, perhaps conversing with each other, some eyes turning their direction? What do you feel right now?
Just a quick aside first. Like, as I pull up to the Elysium with my motorcycle, I kind of put it near the most expensive cars that I can find, and then I rev the engine as loud as I can so that it sets off every car alarm in the area because of the vibration. And then I get off my bike and I walk into the Elysium. And I see a bunch of douchebags. A bunch of self-entitled jackasses flexing their presence powers and pissing people off.
Okay.
So I start looking for that Malkavian. I just don't want to be here.
Alright. You were given a brief description of Michael's strums. He seems to have wavy, curly hair that hangs to the side. He's very, very skinny. He's got these shady-looking eyes that kind of, lizard-like kind of, look left and right. He's very awkward, to say the least. Very Malkavian, to say. But, yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll a Wits and Awareness?
It's awareness. Let's see what character sheet. Awareness. And charisma. No, wits. Okay, fine.
Let's see what we got. Would you like to reroll 3 dice? Otherwise, fail a face compulsion.
Yes, I would. It's going to be a willpower check because I'm just mentally forcing myself to just be angry.
What is it? That's the for it. Okay, you don't face a compulsion, but with 1 success, you don't find Michael. You don't see him. But what you do notice is this individual, or these individuals, who seem to be approaching you. There is a rather tall. He stands about 6'4". He's bald, very, very clean shaven. His eyes glow that of perhaps blue, dark blue. He has wrinkles all over his face. There's something wise about him as he strokes his long gray beard. He wears what seems to be a very, very overly large red suit over what he's wearing. He looks very uncomfortable at the moment as he converses with this individual. Also just about the same height as him, an African-American teenager, very, very young looking. He wears a baby chorus. He wears a black shirt with a baby chorus sort of, design, lettering in the middle of his shirt. He wears what seems to be a black coat over it and some black jeans and some boots. They look very tough and, well, because you are Bruja, you kind of feel that passion, that rage within them that's being kept down. As Damien, the sheriff, turns towards you and gives you an approving nod. He turns to Kritios, the elderly, large individual, and they approach. Damien then speaks up as he kind of fixes his coat. You're new in town, aren't you?
You're observant.
Well, I thought you were the one that I need a scent to investigate. Not that we need you.
Well, since you guys seem to be fucking it up, somebody's got to come in here and show you how to investigate something.
I don't need outsiders, especially not from the Camarilla. Now, Damien. Let's be nice to our guest. He strokes his beard once again, Kritios. Please excuse my dear Chaga, who hasn't learned his etiquette as of yet, but I always welcome a friendly face. A fresh Bruja in town is always welcome. I'm Kritios. Permission. And he kind of extends his
some respect.
Large hands to you.
I shake it. Give the old Bruja,
a brief tug, and he shakes it firmly and smiles at you. Yes. You, of course, you need more like you have heard about you from our mutual contact. Very, very intrigued to have you come into town. But I welcome you with open arms to our Elysium. You'll find that some of them might be a little more on the dramatic end, but we usually just stay off to the sidelines, observing what's going on here.
Any luck in finding that Malkavian?
That Michael Strums has been a mystery for a while. Came in here about a month ago and, well, disappeared. Like nothing.
So
after making a scene at Elysium.
Well,
previous Elysium, he had a sort of panic and embarrassed most of his clanmates.
Have you seen the Malkavians? It's kind of a short trip.
Yes, indeed. You'll find that the primogen of the city, Jason Newberry, is unnerving, to say the least. Don't speak with him. He bears nothing good.
Yeah, hadn't really planned on it. So any leads or anything?
Well, we do have some suspicions that he's been kidnapped of some sort, but, well, we'll have you work on that now, won't we? Damon here is busy investigating the other disappearances.
Okay, allow me to explain something to you, because clearly you're old, and there's this thing called burying the lead. Maybe you should lead with that, with regards to there's more disappearances than just the one.
Well, there are Kindred. Listen, well, there are some rumors that say it's because of the beckoning. They're elderly, of course, but if their time comes, then their time comes. It happens, no way. We don't speak of it, of course, openly, but there are other rumors that say they have been joining suspicious groups in town that have seemed to be forming over the past few months. Or maybe they're Sabat, who knows? But our sheriff.
Go on. What are these suspicious groups?
We're working on it, Lick. Damon says to you. We won't just divulge information to someone new now, can we? Or will we?
Apparently, you little shit, you don't know who I am.
He walks up to you right now. He's straightening his back as he kind of fixes his coat once again. You see his balls curl up to the sides. Yeah. Tell me who the fuck you are.
Assuming fists, right?
No, he's just going. I mean, are you
Okay.
He's gonna knock it right here?
No. So he's kind of looking down on me because he only really has about an inch on me. Yeah. Look, you should know by now, as well as I do, that the intimidation thing doesn't quite work the way it used to. You can be as tall as you want, but if I got more potency than you, I'm gonna knock you flat in your ass.
No idea who the fuck I am. You're talking to the sheriff, motherfucker, he says to you.
You ever hear of Theo Bell?
He pauses for a moment. Just as he's about to spit venom at you, Kritios then puts his hands up while he kind of pushes Damon to the side. Now, this is Elysium, children. We will give you the information that you need, and we'll work together. How's that sound, Mr. McGregor?
It's fine by me. You should probably talk to your boy here about violence in the Elysium. Doesn't seem he understands his actual role as
I
sheriff.
swear to fucking God, let me rip his face out, he says to you as Kritios shoves him to the side. Damien! Do your duties as the sheriff. Now, I must implore you to behave yourself as well, Mr. McGregor. I'm not sure if you affiliate yourself with the Anarchs or the Camarilla, but as mentioned, this is Elysium. Do not try to agitate anyone else, especially not my child.
I'm just using words. This is Elysium, after all. I'm not threatening to punch anybody. Of course,
Very well.
if he wants to come outside, I'll beat him like a Sunday morning erection.
He lets out a little bit of a laugh as he kind of strokes his beard. You do quite well here in the Camarilla, I believe. And we'll pause the scene there as we see a bit of a smirk on Dom's face. Let's see what happens when you try to fuck with the sheriff. Alright. And we'll rewind time just a tiny bit, just to bring in our fledglings. Scarlet Leanne, with her coterie members, as well as Celia. And Miss Stewart, you roll up to this Elysium. It is your first time here. Go ahead and roll your wits and awareness.
It's
Don't mind.
an awareness.
You walk in. As you do, you got 2 successes. You walk in. It is. You notice that it is a large hall. I'll repeat myself again. There's white marble floor, some walls and whatnot. It's very beautiful. There is a sort of elegance to this place, and it's perhaps it's to your taste. It's to your liking. Your rich, the lavish lifestyle, and this is definitely on par with it. You notice that there is large, cozy seats and couches spread across the place itself. And you notice that some kindred are conversing while there's a bar to the left-hand side. There is what seems to be a statue right in the middle, statue of an angel with its wings kind of spread out. It's wearing what seems to be a toga or a cloth, linen, and it has a sword that's pointed upwards like this while it looks down on the water that's streaming below it. You also notice that your coterie members, your schoolmates, have now begun to, their mouths are agape. They seem to be in amazement of whatever is going on here. Some of them adorning smiles, some of them simply keeping everything to themselves. You then notice Brett Striker. He seems to be wearing a bright red suit with polka dots that kind of match yours underneath his shirt. Underneath his coat, he wears a silvery black tie, or shiny black tie. His hair is long. There's beautiful features about him, very, very feminine. And as he approaches you, you would see that there is just poofs of glitter being, kind of left around him magically, as they kind of just come out of his outfit. Well, what do we have here? A few little morsels that come from a particular little den. Welcome, fledglings, to our Elysium. He bows to you, Scarlet, and then to Frankie and Brian and whoever else is with you.
And Celia is also with us, so I give a little curtsy.
Miss Stewart, I didn't know that these little lips were so tasty looking. He says to Miss Stewart, who's leading the group. Miss Stewart then says, "Oh, calm down, Brett. They're very fresh, very new. Please don't scare them off. We're still learning the ropes, and I decided to have them come to tonight's Elysium to show them how it's done." Very well. What was your name again, dear? He kind of gestures to you. Scarlet.
My name is Scarlet Leanne. It's nice to meet you.
Brett Striker, proprietor of the Backtrack Club. I'd love to see you. And he kind of looks you up and down once again, checking you out. There sometime. Along with your pals. Even you, handsome. He kind of, gestures to Nosferatu. He spins on his heels as he takes his leave. Miss Stewart then turns to you a bit stoically and she says, "Now, remember what a harpy is. Always be in good relations with them as they keep your records and your boons. If you know what a boon is, Miss Leanne went over it last night."
Of course.
Now, since the premise isn't here yet, and it's not even 10, you're free to roam around, speak to whomever you find interesting. Just don't let them take too much information out of you. Elder kindreds are mostly, well, rude to young ones.
Understood.
As you say those words, understood, we'll cut the scene to our king. As you get up on the wooden bar, perhaps conversing, or just looking around, you would notice a particular individual there. Someone who seems to be having a few drinks themselves. You would see this person. She seems to be adorning curly hair that gives to the side. She's of African, Puerto Rican descent. She has brown eyes. She's wearing very, very formal clothing. And she looks to you and she says, "Ruthless opportunities."
Pardon me, miss. I had the name's Toledo. So, suitably put it, I am a new face around here. I don't mind getting to know your face, though. Hand out to shake.
She takes her hand. She shakes it very firmly, and you would notice that her hands are very firm and very tough. It's almost as if she is the working woman herself. Melina Ronin, Clan Venture.
Oh. Of course. Make your acquaintance.
This clan you belong to, you seem to be wearing a minister's outfit. And that ghoul I noticed, I assume, is also of your religion. So I'm going to assume you are either a Malkavian or perhaps a Toreador, or maybe a ministry. Oh, excuse me, a Setite.
I'm not sure if it was your intention, but I'm not sure which one of those guesses to be most insulting. I have been told I have some of the Toreador features, though, so I can see why you made that mistake. But no, I ain't a snake, and I am a child of Hakim.
Interesting. She takes a sip of her martini.
Yeah. So, forgive me that we're newer to all of this.
Yes, your clan has recently joined the ranks. It's always welcome.
You.
At least for me. Although the primogen of yours is a bit mysterious, Khadijah handles her affairs through her chowder. She gestures towards the other side of the hall, and you can see this individual. She is very undressed for the occasion. She wears what seems to be a college hoodie. She has ears. She has a set of earphones in her ears. She has dark hair. It's tied into a bun. She has dark circles under her eyes. She has a few French features here and there. And she seems to be just bobbing her head up and down, seemingly listening to some sort of hip-hop or rap. Aisha.
Oh. So, they're the ones in charge of my people around here. What else can you tell me about them? I'm a bit curious. I haven't actually met them myself. I'm brand new.
Oh, if you'd like to converse with them, you're more than welcome to. But I do not know much about the clan of the Hunt, though I have dealt with them a few times on business. I they have my respect for their art.
Well, we are artists. I'm one of the most artistic around, they say.
She lets out a little bit of a chuckle as she says, I'm sure you are. And she gestures for your tattoos.
Tell me, is Elysium that moves around, right? Is this point to the statue? I like that. Who's in charge of this one?
Oh, the keeper.
Yeah.
Toreador Persian, Annabelle, and she then points you towards Annabelle's direction. She seems to have silvery hair. And she has very beautiful features about her, very symmetrical face, crystal blue eyes, as described earlier, and she stands in front of the statue itself, speaking with what seems to be another well-dressed individual wearing sunglasses indoors. He wears a three-piece suit, and he's carrying a snake. He's carrying a cane with a snake kind of handle. Interesting how the snakes always speak amongst each other and plot.
Yeah, I thought, I guess they're playing nice with the tower in this city, at least.
Yes. Though most are anarch, this den has joined Camarilla.
Well, good for them. Well, is there anything else I should know? What's the? Oh, I have a question. You guys running a vampire school?
Yes, we have two.
Wait, you got two vampires? This is wild. I gotta say. What's the idea behind that? How do you become a teacher or something like that? I think I found my calling as a mentor.
Oh, if that's the case, please. And she kind of gestures for you towards a specific direction where you can see a whole bunch of kindred, and you would immediately recognize one of these faces. It is Colin, along with a group of well-dressed individuals. Melina then takes your arm, and she moves in that direction with you. If you are so adamant in joining and becoming a mentor, why don't you speak with a good friend of mine? I'm sure she'll allow this.
I think that's a good idea. Thank you, man.
And you move in that direction. And she briefly, after a short walk, because it's huge, you would see this individual, Miss Naomi Stewart. She seems to be wearing a black gown of some sort. Her hair is tied up in a braid and, dangling over to the side. She has a few earrings here and there. And she has a very elegant vibe about her. Naomi, I do have someone I'd like to introduce you to. Naomi then, who is currently speaking with what seems to be a few of the fledglings, turn to you and she says, "Oh, Lena, good to see you, sister. Who might this be?" And she looks to you, to later.
It's Naomi. The name is offer a hand.
She shakes it.
I'm new in town. No, Banu Akeem. I have an inkling you don't have something like that. I'd like to remedy that.
I do. She looks you up and down. You require someone who has religious backgrounds. And if you say you are from the Banu Hakim, perhaps a bit of combat lessons will be more than welcome.
You know, that's just what I was thinking. If you think they're ready for a little bit of combat lessons, I think I might be ready to teach him.
These Frenchmen is nothing but bewilderment. I assume a gentleman like yourself know quite a bit about it.
I am well-versed in the art of duel. It's important to keep these new, young, impressionable kindred safe. The city just gets more and more dangerous.
Indeed, and she kind of looks over your shoulder, and you would notice, if you look over that direction, you would notice a bit of a scuffle between two very tall individuals. One of them wears a leather jacket, other wears a coat with a shirt that says Baby Chorus on it. You can only assume that these hotheads are Bruja. Some people just don't know their manners. In any case, children, and Stewart kind of turns to the flock of neonates behind her. There's about 5 or 6 of them. I'd like you all to meet Toledo. Scarlet, you will notice this individual. Oh, I know him. I know him. He's Mr. His father Toldo. I know him. I met him the previous night. Colin says. Oh, I mean, I only saw him. Yeah, I saw him at the church.
Actually, speaking of new kindred needing to learn how to protect themselves, I caught this one in a bad spot. He looked like he was handling himself pretty fine. He was tougher than he looks. Did have to intervene. Ain't that right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Stewart then kind of says up. Well, let me begin with some introductions for you all. Frankie Willows. She gestures to the grand girl with the red hair. This is Brian Thompson from Clan Masquerade. Colin Watts, I believe you've met him. I don't know how. This is Chester. This is Celia. And this is...
Scarlet Lian.
You're in the accent, recognizing what Colin told me about this one.
Yeah,
that one seems like a bit of a troublemaker.
Wow. She has also don't pay much attention to class either. Perhaps you could enlighten her with your way of teaching.
Perhaps I could. See, I just have an instinct for something like that. I could pick out a bad egg right away. Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm here to be as useful as I can to the tower and your operation here in the cities. I gladly take a few more.
Perhaps we can discuss your soon-to-be job after Elysium.
Of course, yeah. Business as usual, and my people get a hold of you. I'm gonna look towards the redhead with the snake. Can I hold that real quick?
Frankie turns to you, to Scarlet actually.
No. I know, but how do you say no to that?
Ghost doesn't want to. Ghost
just put it down your boobs. It's okay.
No, that's inappropriate.
Ladies, I'm right here. I can hear this discussion. You two are frantically whispering amongst yourselves. I'm just, is it a trained snake? You know, weapons aren't allowed here in Elysium. And I know some of our kind can use things like that as deadly weapons. You need to give it a ocular pat down, make sure we're not breaking any rules.
She pats the snake on the head as she kind of, kind of hides it away from you. It's not a dangerous animal. It's endangered.
So it's like a fashion accessory then? Either way, I dig it. I mostly just thought it looked cool. I wanted to hold a snake. But I understand your protective bubble. I'll teach you how to actually protect it later.
I did not catch your name. Sir?
Me? Yeah, I had the whole official introduction. You know, your teacher was right. You don't pay attention. That's going to be a problem. I can tell right now. Name's Toledo. Commit that to memory. I have some things to do when I suggest you keep your eyes and ears open. Less yammering on, whispering amongst your friends, and more absorbing the knowledge that Camarilla has here at Elysium. You're trying to funnel into your little minds. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to assign a class. Well, forceful. Usually it helps to have a class meeting. I think that one might have a stuff point. But anyway, we'll be in touch. I got to talk to him. I'm going to find the other Banahuki.
Before we get there, we're going to pause the scene just as you end that conversation. And we'll rewind time just a tiny bit with Mordecai. Annabelle and yourself have been conversing a little bit about the statue and exchanging pleasantries. When you see her eyes dart over, it's the group of fledglings that just entered the room. Oh my. What do we have here? She turns to you and she says, "What for a little freedom?"
I will follow your lead.
She smiles wickedly at you as she regains her composure. A little excited too much though, but she takes your arm and leads you towards this group of fledglings that just entered the hall. You would notice that they seem to be conversing amongst themselves with a priest-looking individual, along with the two Ventru. You can tell they're Ventru because of the way they're dressed. There's no other, people that dress in this fashion. Just as their conversation ends and this priest-like looking individual turns around, the cowboy hat. Toledo, you are greeted by Annabelle and Mordecai as she says, "Oh my, great fashion statement you have going on there, Father."
I mean, it's more of a uniform than anything, but I like to fancy it up a little bit, make it work. Don't look too bad yourself.
Thank you. And she kind of gives you a bit of a curtsy. My name is Annabelle, here of Elysium, and this is my acquaintance. On a date for the evening, rather.
Name's Toledo. A handout.
A man of the cloth. It's so
among other things.
Fascinating to meet you, Mr. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, I am pretty fascinating. Been getting that a lot lately. I see you, point to the cane, point to the girl with the snake. A lot of snakes in this place. I'm sensing a theme.
Mine's just a simple walking stick.
Pretty cool. I like accessories.
Oh,
apparently hers is just an accessory too.
What do we have here? Annabelle excitedly brushes the both of you off to the side as she approaches the fledglings. She ignores Miss Stewart and Melina as she kind of pushes them to the side as well, and she excitedly greets the fledglings. Nosferatu, a Gangrel. I don't know what you are, I've seen you before. And she kind of gestures towards Celia. She just brushes off with Chester. But you, there's something very, very attractive about you, little morsel.
Thank you. You are very beautiful.
I lean in a little to Toledo. This is kind of her thing. Which I
Wink, watch.
What's your name, young little flower?
My name is Scarlet Lian. I am pretty new here, so...
That is you. Very, very profusely. Oh, is that the word I'm looking for? Very seriously. She eyes you up and down, over and over, almost as if she's looking for something. Go ahead and roll your composure and resolve, please, Scarlet. You would notice this as well, Mordecai and Toledo. There's just something about the way Annabelle is presenting herself right now that makes you want to...
predatory.
Yes, yes. An interesting one, aren't you, little Miss Leanne?
Thank you.
What clan do you belong to?
Isn't it obvious? It is...
Oh, indeed it is. A black rose. You do quite well here in our city. But you can please introduce yourself formally. I am your primogen after all. You need to learn your manners and etiquette. Isn't that what they teach you at school? She whips out some venom from her tongue as she turns towards Stewart. It is quiet, awkwardly quiet between this group.
Can Scarlet see me?
Yeah, obviously. You stand.
But I'm behind Annabelle.
If you wish to do something while she spits out a little bit of venom from her silver tongue, you can.
If I can get Scarlet's attention. Basically do a quick little, almost like curtsy.
I give a little, like...
And nod at Annabelle.
When Annabelle scolded the teacher, Ludo would step behind the teacher. It's just like, they teach you that in school? He's already pretending like he's one of the staff that's being reprimanded. Just kind of sliding in with them.
No matter. Maybe she's just new. She rolls her eyes again. Now, to introduce yourself properly, do a bit of a bow, you say your name, presents your friend. Learn this.
I glance towards Miss Stewart.
She seems to have her arms crossed right now, but she maintains composure, waiting for you to redeem yourself.
May I please retry this again then? And I give a curtsy and say, my name is Scarlet Lian of Clan Toreador.
Go ahead and roll your charisma and etiquette, please. We'll get to that in a moment.
Rouse my blood.
So pause the scene here. And do your rolls. As we shift the camera over towards Dom. He was briefly speaking with, he just finished his conversation with Critias. And Damon seems to have stormed off after that little bit of scuffle. But Critias then turns towards that direction. Where you see a bunch of fledglings, and you see now a few of the elders convening. Oh, looks like some interesting situations have been thought of. Oh,
Yeah.
awkward.
Blood does always tend to congeal, doesn't it? The sour stuff, especially. I'm gonna go wandering over there.
As actually, Cretias was ushering you to go that direction anyway. So the both of you walk side by side and say, "My university is much more prominent than that of the Stewarts. I don't know how many students she's managed to enroll this semester." He spits out a bit of a vile tone.
I stop dead and I kind of put my hand here in front of him, like, "Sorry, you're what?"
"Oh, we have schooling for Kindred. Young Kindred, of course."
Back in my day, we just threw him to the wolves, hope for the best. Coddling these little shitheads too much. They're gonna grow up thinking their presence can get them out of any situation.
Well, I do not disagree. It is much better than having them commit all sorts of breaches.
And I start walking over again. Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it?
Yes. And as you arrive there, you see that they're still conversing with what seems to be the keeper of Elysium, Annabelle. You would see Cretias walk up to the teachers along with you, and he says, "Trouble brewing already, Miss Stewart." Stewart then side-eyes him, and you can see that there is a bit of tension between the two. Without what's an insight roll from any of you, but there's just a bit of awkwardness added on to the situation right now as this big, bearded man enters the scene along with this tall, leather-jacketed individual, long hair, seems to be wearing Bruja biker gear or something.
And leather jacket.
Fine leather jacket, indeed. How many students have you managed to have graduated from the Little Academy and Stewart? She remains quiet in this moment as daggers stare out from her eyes at this Bruja. It's awkward and silent.
So that's a small number then.
I do not need to answer to the likes of you, Cretias. My fine students can do well on their own, and much of them have potential. As you can see, we have just presented ourselves to the keeper. That's right, Miss Leanne. And you can see her still kind of bowing towards Annabelle. Annabelle gives a bit of a clap. Now that's better, isn't it? Isn't that better, everyone? And she gestures to you, Toledo and Mordecai.
Yeah, she's going to need a lot of work, but she's getting there.
Got a whistle around here somewhere. I can whistle. You can have him jump through a hoop.
She puts her hand on her hip, her left hand, and she says, "Might be."
Donald McGregor, Clan Bruja.
Don't we have enough Brujas in the city already? Good night. Good to see you. But if you don't mind, I have other things to take care of. Other more important things to speak to. It was nice meeting you all. She bows once again in a rather full of attitude way. And I'll see you, little flower, later on stage. She turns on her heels and walks away, leaving the four of you for the first time to meet each other.
Brilliant.
Unless Mordecai kind of follows Annabelle like a little puppy.
No. She's having a tiff. This is far more interesting here.
Oh, why don't we all... Well, I haven't seen you either, Miss Stewart says. To you, Dom. Domino McGregor, so... I'm sure I've heard of it before.
Probably.
These are my students. Miss Stewart from the Academy. And she gestures to a group of kindred who all have all sorts of styles and different clothing and different hairstyles and whatnot. And you would notice, of course, Scarlet. Now, Mr. Toledo, I would really love to have a conversation with you later, but it seems my mood has been soured by the arrival of this hulking individual. She turns towards Kritios.
Yeah, Bruja do that. It's alright. We'll talk later. Try to find a way to enjoy yourself. It's a nice thing. Nice place. You need to let them sour the mood.
Air's a little dry in here.
Oh, Mr. McGregor, Mr. Mordecai, pleased to meet you once again. Enjoy yourselves here. Melina, we have things to speak about. Come on. Here. She ushers Melina off, leaving all of you to your own devices.
Is it possible to see where the drinks are?
Sure. Yeah, with your awareness, you saw it on the left-hand side of the Elysium itself. There seems to be a bar being tended by what seems to be a bartender. You can't tell.
Frankie, I really need to drink.
Oh, we have to speak with people, as Miss Stewart said.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm gonna go over to the bar.
Frankie turns to you.
I'm going to follow the strange man to the bar. You want a drink or?
I'm gonna slam my hand on the bar and be like, 30 negatives, 95 or younger.
Well, before we get to that, Frankie then turns to you, Mordecai. You see the snake kind of trailing around her shoulder blade. It is white, it is small, it is not very long, looks to be a baby, but it seems to be hissing back and forth at Toledo. The red-haired gang girl, turns to you and she says, I like your cane, sir.
But mine's only an accessory. I'm always fascinated by the ones we keep with us. How long have you had her?
Takes Ghost. Her name is Ghost, and I've had her for only a month. She was rescued from poachers.
And she is your companion?
She nods. She doesn't like him, though, and she kind of points towards Toledo.
Well, I'd say as a pretty poor judge of character, then. Snakes usually love me. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they should.
Shift uncomfortably as she moves closer towards Mordecai.
You know what? I have a really nice pair of snakeskin boots. I feel like that snake can just sense that I own that, and that's probably why it doesn't like me. It's starting to make sense now.
That might be it.
Ghost, cover your ears.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Kind of just goes to Mordecai. She eyes you to the side, Toledo, and she says, "You want to pet him?"
No. She's probably stressed enough. You're in a room full of wolves. And how you conduct yourselves this evening will show whether or not you are fit to run among them or be eaten like sheep.
Mordecai, I was just using a similar analogy earlier this evening. You should look into being a mentor as well. We're running on a similar wavelength.
I don't know if anyone in the Camarilla would actually accept me as a mentor.
Yeah, that is interesting. I was wondering about that. You and, is Dom already went to the bar?
No, he's at the bar right now. He's walked away and he's
Yeah.
slamming
I know
his
there's
fist against the...
And I'm following Dom in the bar.
You're Locke, and then there's clearly Bruja. It's interesting that you guys would settle in with the cane as well.
Convenience. And I've always prided myself on being where the information is the thickest.
Okay. How it is, and it probably doesn't hurt that found yourself some very attractive, convenient company gesturing over there. How the hell did you manage that? You ain't even in her clan, and she lets let you hang out?
But I have. Everyone eventually wants what I have.
Your accessories.
Enlightenment.
Oh, you have enlightenment. No, I can't say I've ever heard of a minister actually achieving that. That's interesting. Oh, go ahead.
The freedom of the mind, the freedom of the heart, and the ability to allow the beast to exercise while still being contained.
I hear you, and I am going to rescind that offer of you being a mentor. I'm not sure the fledglings are ready for that track of thinking quite yet.
They are not. I'm more of a postgraduate instructor.
Speaking of which, are those two schools, is this like a school rivalry thing? Like a full-on, like they have like football games against each other, whatever?
I didn't even know there was a finishing school at all.
No, there's two schools. I've never heard of one vampire school. There's two right here in the city. I assume you're from here, right? You don't seem new. You seem very well acquainted.
I'm connected.
Intelligence and either politics or streetwise, Mordecai. Let's see how well acquainted you are with the city you've been living in, or maybe you're just too busy with your activities in your mansion.
Oh man, really terrible.
I'm curious, what's everyone's hunger at the moment?
I think I'm at a 1.
I just ate.
I'm really thirsty.
Ooh, is that a crit? And with 4 successes, Mordecai, you would know that there are 2 schools for Kindred. They've been recently established ever since perhaps more and more Kindred were coming into town, moving in, or these fledglings, these neonates. You would know that the first one is the Chicago University, which is the domain of Kritios himself, the Bruja Imogen. And he teaches his own class, and he's very, very well versed in philosophy and traditions and whatnot. The second school is the Stuart Freeman Academy. It was founded a few dozen years ago, by Naomi Stewart with another sponsor. In the beginning, it was only a school for a kind. It was mostly for females of the sort back in the day to attend, high school as well as university. But now it's opened its doors to, the male populace as well as the kindred population. As more and more students have come into town, more of these fledglings need to be taught and mentored. She had opened her doors for that, and she holds her private lessons for them. And prime example of these, fledglings are literally in front of you.
Oh no. Times are changing.
I think it's pretty neat, actually. I didn't even go to regular school, but I feel like a vampire school would have helped me in a lot of trouble back then.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out. It's a unique gesture to have a school at all, let alone two.
You both converse and perhaps talk about, the politics and whatnot, liquor standards, as well as schools. We'll pause the scene there as we jump over to the bar, as Dom slams his hand against the bar, the wooden bar itself, and demands blood.
Yeah, it's more of a strong request.
The bartender shakes his head. We do not serve that drink here. It is highly discouraged to feed in these occasions. You should come satisfied beforehand.
Do I hear this? Or?
Yeah, you and Frankie follow.
Yeah, I'm really thirsty.
I'm kind of getting that. Are there any dark corners?
Yeah. There is on each corner. The place is dimly lit, and most of the light is coming from the skylight itself and the stage that is at the very, 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 very far end of the hall itself. Next to the maroon curtain, you would see just very yellow, dim lights that's emanating from the ceiling. Yeah, the place is pretty dark.
Can I tell that she's kind of close to freaking out?
I mean, she did say that she's very hungry, but without a roll, you can't tell. If you want to roll, go ahead and roll your wits and insight.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Where's my insight? It's in the middle. But I have that much of that. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. With 2 successes, you're Kindred. You're familiar with this soul look. Something about her eyes, the way her eyes dart left and right from Kindred to Kindred, perhaps even looking at you at some point. You can tell that's predatory. It wasn't like earlier when you met her. There's something about her at the moment that your beast kind of resonates with. It's craving something. It's craving that blood that you all.
You're new, aren't you, kid?
Yes. Do I need to introduce myself again?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna learn about the Bruja, I'm assuming.
Oh.
At some point.
I have met the Bruja before. He was not really cooperative.
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am very, very hungry.
Would you like to feed?
Miss Stewart said that feeding is not allowed in... Right, Frankie? At least in the Elysium.
Yeah, you're gonna learn really quick. I don't give a fuck what Miss Stewart says.
You're gonna get in trouble.
You shut up.
Hey!
Pets her sleep.
I kind of tried to hide Frankie behind me,
If he offers us blood, don't do it. Don't do it.
I know.
You gotta feed, otherwise you're probably eventually gonna freak out and frenzy, and that would definitely put a big old burr in Miss Stewart's britches, or whatever the fuck her name is. I don't really give a shit.
So rude. She whispers to you behind you.
On my nerves, Gangrel.
She bares her fangs at you in this moment.
I
She is shy and hides behind. If you want to drink someone's blood, just ignore my Brian's. You can trust us. You don't know him.
Yeah, I don't think that I want
I'm
to
not
get in
saying
trouble.
drink from me. I don't give a shit who you drink from. Unless it's like one of them fucking Setites or some shit.
What is a setite?
You got a lot to learn, kid.
Okay.
Come with me. Bring your little pet. We'll go over in the corner. I can block the way if you want, and then you can feed.
On who?
I don't know, your pet. Whoever you want to feed on.
I look at Frankie like,
It's fine. Just don't.
oh, okay.
Just don't drink from him.
Okay.
Alright, if you guys are going to do this, I need 2 dex and stealth rolls from each of you, please. Or 2 total. 1 from you, Scarlet, 1 from you. Dom.
Dex and stealth. Yes.
It's my stealth. There it is.
Ready to get bloodbound to Frankie?
Just minorly.
Still better than others.
A messy critical. Good job.
Oh my goodness. God, poor Frankie.
I'm really unhappy.
6, 8.
I won all.
8 on a messy crit. Scarlet, yeah, you both find a corner of this room, this hall, to perhaps hide in, and Scarlet, the moment you guys get into the shadows, it's almost natural for you to lunge at Frankie herself. She offers you her wrist, but what you do instead is pin her against the wall and sink your fangs against her exposed neck. The snake kind of hisses at you while you do this and curls around your neck while you do, but you don't care. You kind of rip it off as you, violently, as you kind of start feeding upon Frankie. And because that is a messy crit, you will take 2 blood points from her rather than 1. You don't have control right now. The beast is in this state of hunger. And you take just like 2 points of hunger, but now Frankie is on 3. But yeah, you finish feeding, you throw the snake to the ground. It kind of bounces, kind of disgustingly. And the snake kind of is hurt and is now curling around the ankles of Frankie as she gets pulled. As she pulled away from her, she's lost in a kiss. And she lets out a rather deep sigh and slumps over the wall, or against the wall. Dom, you saw everything that just went down.
Oh no, is Ghost hurt?
You alright, kid? I'm gonna hold the gangrel up.
Okay, good.
I don't know, I'm kind of dizzy.
Now, maybe you need to feed. Are you figuring out how this works yet?
No, I can hold it. I can hold it, it's fine.
I just bite my wrist and put it up to her face.
No! I try to like block that.
You
No.
block it, yeah, no problem. Yeah, Frankie kind of shies away from it, as she's seen this happen before, and she simply just pushes your hand away. It's important to have consent, you know.
Yeah, it's why I'm offering.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gregor?
McGregor.
And she simply just kind of just stands there, kind of hunched over. It is at this point that you hear and you see the lights kind of brighten up a little bit, and the stage kind of gets a little bit of attention from all the kindred within the room. The curtains part as you hear the words, "Good evening, my dear kindred. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight to our Elysium." You see this individual up on stage. He is of African American descent. He looks very young, perhaps in his early 20s, maybe early 30s, somewhere around that age range. He wears a three-piece suit with a gray shirt underneath, black tie, and over this coat he has is a fur coat itself that kind of accentuates his prominence among the crowd. He has very handsome features. There's a slight glow to his eyes. He smiles at all of you. I imagine a lot of you are, starting to converge around that area. Unless you choose to stay, where you are. But most kindred are now flocking to this, in front of the stage.
Yeah, we will be rejoining the other fledglings.
Mordecai and Toledo, what do you guys do?
Yeah, I'm getting closer. I'm checking out what's going on. Follow the crowd.
I'll sort of sidle up the back of the crowd to join my fellow ministry.
Yeah. You all kind of approach each other's clanmates. Mordecai, you approach Marcel, gives you a polite nod, but currently Kevin Jackson is speaking, so he doesn't want to say anything. Thea is also there. Toledo, you scrape against, or next to one of your clanmates by the name of Aisha, the one wearing just a hoodie, and she seems to have taken off her earphones at the moment to listen in to what Jackson has to say. Scarlet, you join the other fledglings, and I'm curious, what does McGregor do in this moment?
Well, I'm gonna lick my wrist, close the wound, and then probably head over, not joining anybody. I'm gonna stay back, but I'm gonna keep an eye on everyone, including, most notably the fledglings, just to make sure that they're not doing anything dumb.
Jackson then continues. Well, this is all happening while he's doing the speech, of course. Now, I know that most of y'all have your own businesses to deal with. Cultivate your own kind, and whatever it is y'all do now and nights. However, there's been a growing concern among our populace, and I'd like to address these whispers as our main topic tonight. He walks around the stage as he does this. He's very charismatic in the way he moves and whatnot. He gestures for the audience. He looks them dead in the eyes as he says these words. And makes very good eye contact. Most of you are growing a little nervous moving forward as more and more kindred come into our city. Unfamiliar faces, shady backgrounds, and whatever problems they bring along. I get it. However, while some of you grow wary of these new arrivals, I implore you all to think on the positive end of things. We have many opportunities here for both kindred and kind. And that is exactly why they are making this city great. Think of what they can offer to our great jewel of the Camarilla, he says with a bright smile on his face. This is the Windy City, after all. And I got big plans in mind for the future of Chicago. And each and every one of you have an important role to play. Especially the ones who have just come here recently. And to prove and disprove whatever it is that these whispers are coming along, and y'all are in such a detriment to our unlivelihood, as these rumors say, I invite all these new citizens to come up on stage and introduce yourself to the city. Now, we pause here as we go over each and every one of you in this little moment. What do you all do? As eyes begin to turn, as people begin to shift around, perhaps letting you pass and whatnot. Why don't we start with Toledo?
Opening silence. Gesture to go onto the stage, or is he
Get on stage.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Excitedly sort of go up and hop on stage, straighten myself out. Glance, scan the crowd. I see Sister Isadora.
Yeah, she's perhaps to the side and whatnot. She wonders if she should come along with you or not, but she probably gestures for you. She shakes her head.
I'll shake my head as sort of look at her as a little boost of confidence, and she's around in case things go bad. I'll flash a smile at her to show that I brushed my teeth.
She gives you a bit of a thumbs up.
I'll look to the prince, and I'll pleasure to meet you. The name's I'll look towards the crowd. Toledo, child of the king.
Before you get to the stage,
And,
before that,
sorry.
I wanted to know that there was others doing. Dom, you are new to the city as well. You notice that Toledo is now approaching the stage. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll probably go up myself.
Nonchalantly do this. You don't really give a fuck whatsoever what's going to happen. You just got to do what you got to do, right? Yeah.
Whatever keeps that dipshit sheriff off my ass.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the sheriff, you will see him on stage as well, like next to the curtain, against the wall, kind of just like has his arms crossed as you kind of move in that direction. You see him spit blood on the ground. Okay, and Scarlet.
As just a quick thing, like as I walk past him, I just mutter under my breath, "It's better to be dead and cool than alive and uncool."
You see him kind of shake his head even more as he tries to keep his shit together. Scarlet, Frankie and Brian are pretty much moving in that direction now.
And I will go with them.
You and Dom, funnily enough, are like next to each other as you all kind of ascend up the steps and onto the platform of the stage.
We're very tall.
Look at these fine Kindred over here. Jackson says that she gestures for each and every one of you to come up on stage a little further into the center. Let's start with you, cowboy.
Oh, yeah, as I was saying, Toledo, child of the hunt, man of the cloth, and a mentor to the young fledglings of the city. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
There you have it. Toledo of the Banu Hakim. I'm sure you'll bring a lot to the city. I assume you'll be mentoring some of our younger kindred, and kind of gestures towards the fledglings on the sea of people. Clem
Yeah,
Leather
I'm here
Jacket.
to help and... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. Well, as you start saying words, he literally just cuts you off. He seems to be in a hurry as he says, Clan Leather Jacket. How about it?
I'm the McGregor Bruja.
Not so chatty type, unlike his other companions. Nice change for once. And you. He gestures towards Frankie and Ryan, who do their own introduction very shyly. And finally, this polka dot wearing Chica.
I curtsy and say, I am Scarlet Lian of Clan Toreador.
Now, all three of you, please go ahead and make a charisma and etiquette roll.
I have so much of that.
No.
This is Elysium, so just need one success. Just need one success. Not to be super embarrassed. Okay. It's 2 for Scarlet, 1 for Dawn. Toledo.
Oh shit. I thought I had no etiquette.
Okay.
0.
Here's what happens. As Toledo makes his introduction to the Kindred populace, you don't hear anyone cheer or clap, and if anything, you hear Annabelle go boo as, she rounds up the rest of the Toreador around, and she says, "Child of our king, what style?" You get kind of, a little bit of a bickering in the audience as they kind of mock you and whatnot. "Nice hat, cowboy," one of these people kind of say, mockingly. As Dom makes his introduction, you hear a few claps here and there, but you see Kritios simply brushing his long beard down his face. And as Scarlet makes her introduction, you get a few cheers and whatnot, and Annabelle, of course, has a big smile on her face. But no one says a word.
I kind of nudged Toledo a little bit, like, yeah, don't worry about it. Toreadors are kind of shitheads.
I apologize if I gave you the impression I was worried.
Now, don't pay no mind to these degenerates. They like to do their own little high school thing, right, Annabelle? He kind of smiles towards Annabelle. But in this moment, go ahead and roll your wits and awareness, Toledo. Perhaps as you stand on center stage. 2 successes. As you scan the room, you notice that Colin is not here. You look around, see the fledglings. No sign of Colin. And as you perhaps scan the room a little further, you see him stepping out of Elysium. You only rolled 2 successes, so I can't give you too much, but he seems to be in a panicked hurry. Now, I hope all of you will do as your primogens say and make the city best of the Midwest. He smiles. Now, we go on ahead and join the crowd as we begin our Elysium official.
Toledo will immediately jump off the stage, just make a beeline towards where you last saw Colin.
Mordecai, what are you doing in this moment? As they all kind of just jump on the stage. Actually, if you were standing next to Marcel, he would make a few remarks here and there, saying, "Easily manipulative these young ones are, aren't they, Mordecai? Tell me, which one of us will have our tails entangle them?"
Thanks, sorry. It's hard to say, Marcel. I think these young ones might need a little more scrutiny, these new ones from the schools.
Well, perhaps you could pay them a visit sometime. Act as a patron of some sort. Yes?
We want to make sure that they're no one else's toys.
Exactly. He smiles at you, his green eyes flaring in this moment. I saw you have conversation with them. How are they?
Very naive.
effect.
Almost painfully so. It makes the sport not very fair, not very challenging. They don't know what they're doing. They go to steer them off.
Dieser Bruder, where is me?
I like it. Oh yes, exactly.
Perhaps we can use him in the future, yes?
I like the Bruja. I like this one. He doesn't take shit from anybody. That's a big smokescreen.
And that child of Hakim, well, his looks are deceiving.
That was a bit of an enigma. He claims to be of the cloth.
Worrying.
So that bears investigating.
But I'm most curious about that Toreador, the elite. There is something
She's part of that venture school.
Yes. Perhaps we'll keep an eye on her. She holds more value than she presents.
I'm wondering if I can convince her to join Pretius's instead. He feels more passionate about specific things, and if it's anything that I've learned in my years, is that when you have a passionate professor, you learn faster. When you have some pompous Ivory Tower teacher, they don't care about you. They just care about their paycheck. They care about what they're getting out of it. They're not going to teach you any more than you need to know. Critias would.
The rivalry
That's what I think
goes
I'll do.
deeper between the two schools. Play a part in this. I would like to see it fall apart.
I mean, poaching students is a terrible, terrible thing for one school to do for another.
Indeed. He says as he kind of plays around with his fingers, almost maniacal. We'll cut the scene there.
Full stereotype.
We'll cut the scene there as Scarlet and Dom make their way to the floor now. You all are greeted by a few applause. Just minor applause here and there, a few smiles. But the overall mood has now shifted to a more friendly one after Jackson has introduced you all officially to the Camarilla.
Swell.
I imagine Dom and Scarlet just simply part ways, or do you guys stick together? Or...
And I'll lead her back to her sheep.
Toledo, you notice that Colin has left in a hurry while you were on stage, and he's made his way out. You chase after him. You leap off the stage. Well, you don't leap off of it, but you jump off the stage, and you kind of, dash past all these individuals and to make chase with Colin Watts. Mordecai, you notice this immediately as, Toledo seems to be moving in a rather quick motion out of the building. What do you do?
Rito's moving quick. What about Miss Scarlet and Angry McGregor?
Dom and Scarlet seem to be just descending upon the steps, but this is at the same time that they notice Toledo is pretty much moving in a very fast manner out of Elysium. So, let me ask you, all three of you, what do? Do you follow Toledo, or do you still remain in Elysium?
Well, it seems to me like Toledo is moving that quick, and if he's moving that quick, seems like there's probably going to be a scrap. So, never wanted to turn down a scrap. I'm going to follow him.
I'm just following MacGregor because I don't know where my group is, and he did say that he's gonna lead us back to our group.
Beg my clanmates' forgiveness for my untimely departure. Please enjoy the rest of the evening and let me know if anything happens. I'm going to actually follow a lead. Follow my nose. Curiosity. And Mordecai is going to move along the back of the crowd, move along the back wall and sort of slip my way out. They've intrigued me. I'm going to follow them.
Sure. Yeah. With the rest of the Kindred populace kind of fixated on Jackson and whatever he's talking about. You guys don't pay much attention, but he's literally talking about, the problems of the city right now, thin bloods coming in and whatnot. You guys hear here and there what the issues are, but none of you care, as Toledo seems to be more of your focus. We'll start with Toledo. You notice that as you step out of the Elysium, Colin is running. He's just bolted it towards a particular building on the right-hand side of the Elysium itself, towards a skyscraper building.
I'll call out to him. Oh, but
he's actually moving in a really fast manner, like faster than he should be able to.
Keep up as best I can and call out to him to stop.
Okay, Dex and Athletics.
I'm gonna route the blood on this as well, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah. The three of you also step out as Toledo seems to be making a dash for the thin blood, the Colin Watts that you have all been introduced to earlier, and he seems to be really close to the skyscraper now, next to the square.
Great.
Come with me, kid.
Okay.
Mordecai, you are right behind Dom and Scarlet. What do? You just follow them?
When in Rome.
Calmly.
Start.
Yeah, you just follow them with a cane, just kind of like doing your
With
thing.
them, not too much. I'm not going to lag too far behind. I want to keep up. I want to see what's going on. I'm not going to be like running full tilt or anything, but
as you all kind of give chase to Colin, I was looking for 5 successes here. We only got 3. So the kid is moving super preternaturally quick as he bolts towards the skyscraper entrance. And he knocks past people, knocks past whatever it is that he bumps into.
See that, kid? That's what you're not supposed to do.
Oh. Is that a masquerade breach?
Yeah, a little bit.
A frantic look in his eyes. Toledo, you're the only one that can see this, but you managed to trail him behind, but you're not close enough. But you can tell he's crying or something. Something happened. As he runs, you would see him bolt to the emergency staircase. He knocks the door open, and he runs up the stairs quickly, like unnaturally quick. Do you follow?
I do. Once we hit the staircase at this point, I'm going to make myself unseen and unheard.
Okay.
Do not get hungry doing that.
Perfect. Okay. Colin ascends, and you can, for some reason, he's not slowing down, nor is he getting tired. Of course, he's Kindred, so you guys don't exactly get tired, but you could tell that this dude is moving with celerity. And perhaps it's the first time you've seen a thin blood move with that sort of speed and dexterity. He climbs the stairwell, completely unfazed by how many floors it is, and it's easily, if you look up, you can easily tell that it's about at least 30 floors. In a few moments, he gets, perhaps halfway there before the rest of the coterie, or soon to be coterie, kind of bust through the metal door of the emergency exit staircase. And you three would notice that there is a loud noise echoing from the top. It seems to be Colin, just making all the thumping noises on the staircase and whatnot. You don't see Toledo, though. He seems to have disappeared. Now, I ask you, do you all do anything to enhance your chase? Or the way you chase this person? Or you just... whatever?
I don't have anything to enhance my chase.
This
but
is
what I would do.
like an emergency fire escape, or...
Yeah, it's an emergency fire escape.
And it's on the outside of the building?
It is on the semi-outside of the building. It's still indoors, but it's not in the building proper itself.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to run up naturally, because I'm figuring that Toledo is up there chasing him, or near where he is. Come on, kid.
Okay. I don't think this is where the group is.
Don't worry about your group.
Dex and Athletics, both of you, Scarlet and Dom. As for you, Mr. Mordecai, go ahead and roll your Sense of the Unseen. Toledo, what's an obfuscate, please?
Do I roll the first thing or the second thing? Oh, non-API discipline.
There should only be one there.
3 successes.
You don't need to
that's
rouse.
just a rouse check. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't need to rouse.
Sorry, I wasn't sure which
But-
button to press.
If you want to rouse to increase your dice pool, you can.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
Okay, yeah. As the three of you kind of move, not communicating with each other, Mordecai, you would notice that there is movement following behind Colin's steps as he makes his way there. You would notice that cowboy hat and that silhouette of his simply just following the footsteps of Colin. But
Well, he is Beno Akim.
yeah. As for your athletics rolls, Dom, you just bolt. You leave Scarlet behind. She's now trailing behind you, perhaps along with Mordecai. But you manage to perhaps get on the... If Colin is on the 15th floor, you are now on the 10th floor along with Toledo. But the chase continues, step by step, floor by floor. You continue. Colin, if there's an individual there, in his way, he just pushes them to the side as he continues to cry, just leave me alone, please, as he kind of continues up the steps further and further in. And eventually, you would hear the loud opening of the metal door kind of slam against the wall as he steps out onto the rooftop on the 40th floor.
Uh-oh.
The rest of you kind of follow him, of course, but we'll fast forward just a tiny bit as you all get to the 40th floor. You all meet eyes as you perhaps shift around, looking towards the outside carefully, cautiously. And you would all see Colin standing by the edge of the rooftop, crying, blood tears down his cheeks. And Mordecai, because you have sensed the unseen, with your 4 successes, you would see a figure not too far from him. Actually, 2 figures. One seems to be wearing a red cloak with a jester clown-faced mask that's white. And another individual next to him that seems to have long, wavy hair, very skinny look, shorter than the average person, and has loony eyes about them. Please just leave me alone. I didn't do it, okay? I couldn't do it. I swear I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
What's going on,
I'm
Matt?
sorry.
Who all do I see?
Mordecai, you see
Dom,
three
Dom.
individuals. Oh, okay. So behind or
Dom.
next to you, Dom, Toledo, and Scarlet.
So I know
But you
Toledo's
see
there as
three
well.
Individuals on the rooftop. You see three individuals on the rooftop, and Colin is standing by the edge. The two individuals that are obfuscated, you can see them because of your sense of the unseen. They seem to have ganged up on him, but they're not.
We're not
physical,
alone.
They're just around.
He has friends beside him.
Is there a building on the other side of the edge that we're on?
The edge is facing the outside area, the square itself, the open space.
What is going on?
Toledo is going to approach. As far as he knows, Colin still can't see or hear him, so he's not really at risk of running up on him and freaking him out. Because as far as he knows, Colin won't be able to see him do that. He's going to.
There are two beside him, Toledo.
Hear that. Surprised someone else can see him. He'll just nod. First thing he'll do is he'll approach. Assuming, would he have his little pocket Bible that he keeps some of his ritual stuff in? Pop that open. Down a spider, saying a quick prayer to the spider spirit, hunter spirit, using clinging of the insect as I approach, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem at all. If you can go ahead and use that ritual to your advantage, you can. I don't think it costs a rouse check, does it?
I think the preparation of it costs a rouse, but once you have it set up, you're good.
Yeah. For sure,
So that's the actual ritual roll, which is good, and I'll do a rouse.
Yeah, I don't think you need to roll for it. It's just automatic. It allows you to climb on surfaces and whatnot, like a spider. But yeah, you do this little ritual on your own. You consume the blood, your blood as well as the insects that you've prepared, and you activate it as you approach Colin, and unbeknownst to you, two individuals next to him. Scarlet and Dom, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm confused. What is going on?
This is when he notices you because he wasn't paying attention to you. You see his eyes dart from what seems to be a lower panel or a lower point of view onto yours across the open rooftop area. Scarlet, don't come near me, please.
Why?
They're gonna hurt you. They're gonna hurt you. Just please don't. Dom, what do you do?
I'm gonna soaring leap and grab him by the ankle.
Okay. I need a dex and athletics roll from you.
Collins, who is they?
Would I be able to use grappling? No, I'm kidding. I don't have that.
I need a dex and athletics first because something's gonna happen. Okay, with 4 successes. Okay, here's what happens. Mike, you can see everything, and we're gonna go about it with Mike's point of view as he has sensed the unseen. Just as Domino, rears back and perhaps uses a bit of his potence to do his soaring leap, you see him leap further and further into the rooftop proper itself, and you see that red-cloaked individual turn. His eyes flare crimson red, and it flashes as he breaks his obfuscate, as he draws what seems to be a sword made out of shadows. And he rears back and points it towards Dom. Dom, you see this happen as this person just breaks out of obfuscate. You see a red-cloaked individual now holding a black sword, very, very long, and it's pointed at you. With your 4 successes, you are able to dodge it just in the nick of time, but it breaks your momentum. This is when you realize that the person who is next to you, next to this cloaked individual, breaks his obfuscate and reveals himself to be Michael Strums. He has curly hair. He has very skinny features about him. He's shorter than usual, than most people. And he turns to you
He turns to you all and says, "An ancient evil lies underneath the ground we stand upon, and soon its tendrils will suffocate the denizens, and its insatiable hunger will drive it to consume the living, the dead, and those that lie in between." And in this moment, without even looking at Colin, he pushes him off the edge of the rooftop. And we'll end the session here. As Colin plunges to his death.
F. Colin. Buddy. Alright.
These guys
Give me a pet just to kill him in front of me.
Oh man.
Yeah, these guys aren't getting off the rooftop.
I'm like a student. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You're next off the roof. This is
Oh no.
You're gonna get thrown off the roof, man.
Trial by fire, baby.
Oh no. Alright, round robin. Starting with Mike.
Hi, Mike. Mordecai. You can see my pre-COVID cosplay adventures at Canadian Captain America. I also play a Wednesday D&D game with this guy, and called Dead Reckoning, and it'll be on the Vampire or the Vancouver by Night stream channel. Other than that, yeah, that's for me.
I'm going to guess that I'm next. Hey, I'm Steve. Usually the storyteller over at Vancouver by Night. We do stuff on Saturdays. We start at 3 p.m. PST. We do it on the Level Up Dice channel. And then we go to my channel, Vancouver by Night. And then we hop over to probably usually the Overlord to do the Metro Manila stuff. So we're going to block off your entire Saturday. Just do the whole thing. And yeah, we're just going to raid everybody and build up views for everybody and help everybody out. So yeah, join us on Saturdays. And I'm going to pass it on to, I'm guessing that way, Toledo.
Hey, I'm Bully. I am the storyteller for Table Goth, which we are, thank God, take a bit of a hiatus as I'm playing instead of running stories, but that's going to change very soon. We're doing another No Kindred Hungry. Of details on of when we're actually streaming that in the next couple weeks. Keep an eye out for the virtual horror con. I'll be running some games for them next month for Gehenna Gaming, and then kicking off Cults of the Blood Gods officially again. So yeah, vampire stuff in the works.
Okay. And I'm Lou. You can find me at Crescent's BTM. I do a little bit of storytelling here and there, but yeah, I don't really have much social media presence yet. But yeah, thanks for having me.
And as always, I am Rina, playing as Scarlet Leon. You guys, I don't know how you guys expect me to ask you to find me, but you're already on my channel. Probably look at my Twitter if you can follow me there. We do have Midnights in Metro Manila every Saturday, like Steve has said. So that's fun because things are getting a bit spicy in Midnights in Metro Manila, so you guys should watch. And that said, guys, thank you very much for joining. This has been Call of the Abyss. Bye!